Welcome, ghouls, ghosts, mere mortals, to the Hidden Creek Manor. Now, normally we focus on Halloween or Christmas decor, but in this episode it's going to be a bit of a departure from our regularly scheduled programming. Regularly scheduled programming. That is so hard to say. But anyway, like I said, normally we focus on our haunts and maybe even Christmas decorations, and this week we're going to work on something that's going to be up in our yard year-round. But we're going to use the same techniques that we use to make some of our Halloween haunts. So let me explain. A while back, someone gave us a couple sections of a white PVC fence. Pretty standard. You see them all over the place in people's backyards. They look perfectly fine as is. The only problem is they just didn't fit our decor. Our outside decorations are primarily stained wood, and where we wanted to use this, it just wouldn't look right as a white fence. So, I decided to use some of the same skills that I've learned from doing haunting and make it look like this white PVC fence is actually stained wood and black metal. Black metal. Anyway, if you want to learn how to take white PVC and make it look like stained wood, similarly to how we did our pirate sail, stick around, check out the video, and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. Alright, so before we get into the build, let's talk about the materials first. So you're going to need some PVC, could be PVC pipe, could be a PVC fence, whatever type of PVC that your heart desires, go ahead and grab it. You'll also need some wood stain, whatever stain color works for you, grab that one as well. You'll need some spray paint and some clear coat. So I don't know if you guys noticed in the earlier part of the video, but the fence was kind of dirty. It had been sitting outside for quite some time, so first thing we need to do is lay the pieces out and clean them off. So once we got them laid out, I just hosed them down with the garden hose just to get those kind of big chunks of dirt off. And then once we got them hosed down, I just had a mixture of some warm water and a little bit of dish soap, and I just wiped them off, and then just kind of set them to the side to dry. And now that the planks of PVC are nice and clean, it's time to go ahead and sand them. PVC is pretty slick, and if you don't sand it, there's no way that that stain is going to stick to it like it should. You want to make sure that it's nice and rough to make sure the stain can soak in. So I did an initial sanding with the heavier grit sandpaper to really kind of rough up that PVC. And then after sanding it, I started using actually two different rasps to rough it up even more and to give it some more texture. Now, when you do this step, you want to make sure that you're going east to west, not north to south. And the reason being is that you want to make it look like wood. You want to make it look like wood grain once that stain starts to soak into those gaps and crevices that you're creating here. So I just kind of would go side to side, back and forth with my first rasp just to kind of give it some light scoring. And then I took another rasp of mine that was able to give it some deeper grooves into the PVC, so that way once that stain starts soaking in, it's going to really emphasize those lines and make it look like it's actually wood. So when you do score the PVC, it is going to leave behind some little pieces of plastic that you want to get off of there. So I took some finer grit sandpaper and just did one final pass over everything just to make sure that it's nice and clean. And then we're going to wipe it down one more time, this time with just water, no soap or anything like that, just to get the dust and debris left over from sanding. And then once the PVC dries, it's on to staining it. So you'll grab your stain and a paintbrush, and you'll start going back and forth, once again, east to west, left to right, no up and down, just back and forth, just like you would see with an actual wood grain. And
what you should see happening is that stain should start soaking into those kind of crevices that you made earlier whenever you scored it with the rasp. And I prefer using a brush, and I actually like to see those brush strokes. So sometimes I'm kind of light-handed whenever I'm painting because those brush strokes, once again, make it look a little bit more like real wood. You can use other methods. I've used a kind of like a washcloth before that I've dipped in the stain. It works just fine, but for that realistic looking wood grain, it just seems to work better with the paintbrush. Now I only filmed myself doing one coat, but I think I ended up doing 2 coats on either side. Now I didn't really film myself doing the black metal portions because there wasn't really anything to it. So here's a stock footage video of someone spray painting to give you guys an idea of what it looked like. But essentially, the first thing I did was sand it just to give it that rough texture so that way the spray paint would adhere to this PVC. I spray painted a couple coats of matte black spray paint, and that was it.
So if you were just here to see how to make white PVC look like wood, you can leave now if you want. No one's going to hold it against you. We're not going to be upset with you. But if you want to see the final results of the entire project, check it out. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was different from what we normally do in our videos. It wasn't really Halloween or Christmas related. It was more of a home improvement video. But if you want to see more of those, let us know about it in the little comments section below. And while you're at it, might as well just go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons. But anyway, like I said, that's going to do it for this episode. So happy haunting, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Congratulations. You made it to the end of the video. As a reward for sticking around, you may now watch one of these 2 videos. The choice is yours, but choose wisely.